Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to our English lesson. Our learning objective today is to identify descriptors and use them in our speech. Now, the first question is, what is a descriptor? Now, a descriptor is a word that talks about the way that something looks. So we use descriptors all the time when we speak. But in this lesson, I would like to draw your attention to the particular words that we use when we talk about the way things look. Simply, I just want you to pay attention to the descriptors that you already use every day. So let's begin by looking at this picture. Oh, look at that puppy. Look at that puppy. Now, when you look at this puppy and I ask you, how does this puppy look to you? How would you describe this puppy? How would you talk about this puppy? Oh, the first word that comes to my mind is cute. He is so cute. Look at that puppy. Now, what other words can you use to describe this puppy? Yes? Your turn. That's right. He's also brown. And look at his fur. He is furry. He's brown and he's furry. Now, when you describe things, you can talk about their color, you can talk about their size, you can talk about their mood, if they're happy or sad. When I showed this picture to a child, the child said he was happy. That's another word that describes this puppy. Let's move on to the next picture. Oh, look at this picture. Now, how would you describe this kitty cat? Oh, the first word that I can think of again is cute. What other words do you have? How would you describe this cat? That's correct. Look at her. She's got stripes. So she is stripy. That's another word. And look at her ears. She's got pointy ears. So another word that you can use to describe this cat is the word pointy. Pointy ears. She's got pointy ears. What other words can you use to describe the cat? Remember I said you could use color. So she has a white patch here. You could use size, big or small. Well done. These are wonderful words that you've used to describe this kitty cat. Our story for this week is The Smartest Giant in Town. Now, we like this story because there are so many words that describe George and the different pieces of clothing that he had. So, for example, when you read the story, you'll find out that George had old brown sandals. So that's a descriptor for his sandals. They're old, brown sandals. What else can you see about George? George wore a patched up gown. Look at his gown. Now, patched up means that there are holes in the gown, but he's patched up the holes with pieces of cloth. There, he's cut up fabric and used it to patch up the holes in his gown. So he's wearing a patched up gown. That's a descriptor. It talks about the way George's gown looks. Now, in the slides that follow, you will be required to match different pieces of George's clothing to the words that best describe them. You will also match the pieces of clothing that he gave to the different animals. And at the end, your final activity is to unscramble a sentence from the letter that the animals wrote to George. There's a sentence that is scrambled, and you will be required to unscramble it. So thank you so much for listening to this lesson on descriptors. I hope you have fun describing with George, the smartest giant in town. Take care. Bye.